What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of New York, season 14, episode 19, I believe. Listen, they are finally back from Anguilla. Are we on episode 19? I feel like when I said no, I knew that wasn't right. Episode 12. We're back from Anguilla, child, and I know I do not like the term filler episode, but this was a filler episode. Okay, there's a few things, the whole Jessel side thing, but we'll get to that. Jessel and her husband finally have a date night, and she claims they finally did the do the woo the whoop. I hope so, child. She said she had lingerie, that the ladies helped her set up the lingerie, that the ladies, when they were in Guella, called her husband and told her husband that they needed to go ahead and take some time out. Now, he said he had been taking care of them twins the whole time she was in Guella by himself without a nanny. And she said, well, she felt like that's the least he could do because she carried them twins for 9 months. So she deserved to take a vacation double the time. So she wanted an 18-month vacation. Listen, if you like it, I love it, child. Do your thing. Do your thing. We have this random scene with Aaron and Bryn meeting up at a gay bar, I guess to help Bryn get back out there in them street. I'm sorry. I said Bryn. I'm sorry. Pause. Jenna and Bryn, not Aaron. So I guess we're trying to help Jenna, get back out here. And Bryn was playing wingman, she helped Jenna, some woman seemed interested and they got to talking, and I guess the conversation was taking too long for Bryn, and she interrupted him. It's like, listen, you guys need to just go ahead and exchange numbers and set up a time that you're going to call tomorrow. And I mean, it was a lot. Bryn does a lot. Like, I really be trying with Bryn because I get it, but watching her is a lot for me. But Aaron keeps wanting to say Aaron. Jenna actually looked like she had a good time. They got her to get on stage and dance. And of course, once again, Bryn has to do too much, giving her $1 and putting her face in Jenna's crotch. Like, it was just a lot. It was just too much. I don't know, it just makes me uncomfortable. And Bryn said, listen, love is love, and she don't care where she get the love from. She just want the love. So I feel like that was Bryn's way of letting us know that she bisexual and that she's open to whoever and however and wherever it comes from. That's what I got from that she bisexual. The ladies go on this like spiritual situation. Bryn doesn't come because she got the Roni wrong. And the ladies, of course, they go through this exercise. Sai says she don't get nothing from it because there ain't nothing wrong with her and she don't need to heal from nothing. And I say, I beg to differ. Sai, I think you absolutely need some healing, okay? Uba really got into it. She broke down and cried and got very emotional. Aaron was like, listen, I'm open to it, okay? I'm open to new experiences. I mean, I don't know if I got a lot out of it, but I'm open to trying. Jessel was Jessel. And she told Sai that she wanted to go out to lunch with her. Now, Sai said in her confessional she has no interest in going out to lunch with Jessel. She don't know what they're going to talk about. She don't know what's it about. So I feel like Sai showed up with a negative attitude before Jessel even got there. Now, Jessel says she wants to talk to Sai because she still feels some kind of way about the whole conversation down in Anguilla, about her basically, them not accepting her story, or because her story isn't as horrible as their story, that somehow she's lying or she's being dishonest. Now, I'm going to say this. I mean, I said this in my review, so I'm not going to drag it out again. Just because one person's story isn't as tragic as another person's story does not mean that their experiences are invalid. Okay? Just because Jessel only had $20 in her bank account and you had negative $400 does not make her any less broke. I mean, $20 is still only $20. So Aaron and her husband double date and go out to eat with Sai and her husband. And I mean, they look like they had a nice dinner, but somehow they end up talking about Jessel and her husband and how they not having sex. And from there, we find out that Aaron and her husband have talked about having open marriages and swinging and all kinds of stuff. And Aaron said, listen, if you want another woman in the bedroom, but I want another man in the bedroom. Like, I have no interest in sleeping with a woman. But if you want a threesome, then it can be 2 men. And her husband was like, I mean, as long as I'm in the room. So you cool. with Aaron sleeping with another man as long as you get to watch. Listen, I'm not here to judge. If you're a voyeur and you down with it, and Aaron seemed like she was cool with it, she didn't seem offended by it. Look, if you like it, I love it. What y'all do in y'all bedroom don't pay none of my bills, okay? Sai, of course, was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing here? How did we get here? But basically, her husband was like, so they asked her about, if you went a year and a half without sex, what would you do? Baby, Aaron's husband was like, oh, I would cheat. Now, Sai's husband said, oh, our relationship will be over. And somehow his answer was better than Aaron's answer. And Aaron's husband was like, well, the end result would be the same. I would cheat. Our relationship would be over. Like, why is that? Like, why are we acting like what he said is different than what I said? And I agree. Why are we acting like what he said is any different than what I said? Child, I would cheat, and so would he. And the relationship would be over. Well, once again, Aaron was open about, where they are and that they've had these conversations. Because she said, listen, at the end of the day, even if I have some issues later on in my life, I mean, me and my husband need to figure it out. Like, I don't know. Because then they said something about, well, what about him being gay? And she was like, I don't care. If he going to give me the D, I'll take it. But I guess somehow they felt like that would be less threatening to her husband if the guy was gay, I guess. I don't know. We see Brynn out shopping for collectible books, like first editions, and she talked about how her grandmother really introduced her to books, and we found out that she's buying a tree to memorialize her grandmother. I mean, again, beautiful, beautiful story. What happened next? We see Sai going out to lunch with her daughter. Cute, it was cute. Her daughter's child wants an agent. She wants to get into acting and performing arts. She's doing her ballet and things like that. And they had a nice little tea time lunch. It was cute. Then we get to the lunch with Sai and with Jessel. Now, Jessel, Sai was already irritated and didn't want to be there. Girl, you was 40 minutes late. You didn't call, you didn't text. And again, I know what y'all are thinking. I wouldn't have waited no 40 minutes, but remember, they're filming the show and they have to wait. They can't leave. They have to film the scene. So Sai is not sitting there waiting because she is that nice. Let's be clear. They weren't filming the show, and Sai, I promise you, Sai wouldn't have sat there and waited no 45 minutes for Jessel. I promise you that wouldn't have happened. But neither here nor there, Jessel comes in, and the first thing out her mouth is she does apologize. She did apologize, and baby, it's a Friday that this takes place. And she was saying, well, I just thought that this would be a great, time for us to meet. And Sai was like, girl, it's the middle of the work. She said something about wanting a drink. And she was like, I'm not getting ready to drink in the middle of the day. Like, it's a work day. And she was like, really? She was like, it's Friday. I thought this would be a good day because it's Friday. She said, girl, Friday is still part of the work week. And Jessica was like, oh, my work week my weekend starts on Friday morning. Like, for me, I'm off. I'm good. So Jessel starts explaining to Sai why she wanted to meet. And she talked about, apologizing for, well, at least the way Sai heard it is that Jessel was apologizing for comparing their life and making, equating their experiences. And Sai basically told her, look, at the end of the day, I honestly, at this point, I just don't care. Like, I really don't care anymore. At this point, I'm just kind of over it. And then she goes on to talk to Jessel about, in this group, we just want people to be honest and just be authentic. And if you're honest, people just don't say anything. And I'm like, but that's the problem. Jessel is being honest. Y'all are not accepting her version of the story. Because she was like, well, in this group, we can just see the bullshit. We can feel the bullshit. And I'm like, but y'all keep making that assumption. Y'all keep making that decision that this is all bullshit. Jessel has never said that her stories weren't real. Y'all have decided that her stories weren't real. And it just frustrated me because I feel like nothing was accomplished because I feel like Sai had a funky attitude and Jessel wasn't clear in what she was saying. So then they got to talking about, because like even when Sai asked her, she said, so how was date night? She was like, did y'all have sex? And she was like, yeah, we did. You didn't believe her. She was like, I don't believe it. I mean, her story just doesn't have any details. Like, I think she's just tired of us asking her about it. So I don't think they had sex. Why? Based on what? So at this point, it really doesn't matter what Jessel says. You've just decided you're not going to believe her. So at this point, Jessel can't win. Like, what do you want from her? And I don't even like, y'all know I didn't even start off liking Jessel all that much. But at this point, I'm sick of it. Because I feel like no matter what she says. So then she started talking about her uncle who was an alcoholic and saying, that I understood what you went through. It was very triggering for me. I went through a lot living with my uncle. I feel like I gave him a pass or what have you. And his side again, it's not the same. Oh my gosh, I can't believe she's equating. It's just not the same. And I'm like, so she just can't win with y'all. It's like no matter what Jessel says, she just can't win. So basically the lunch ended. Sai went to go pay the check and Jessel was like, nah, girl, I got it. And that was just pretty much the end of it. Now, I've been reading stuff all day long about how everybody is standing Jessel and, oh, I stand Jessel. Jessel really got Sai together. And I don't feel like that's how that conversation went. It frustrated me because I feel like Sai was very dismissive and very rude to Jessel. But I don't feel like Jessel got Sai all the way together. But maybe I saw something different. Maybe I'm just over it. I don't know. Child, they filmed the reunion. I feel like either next week or the week after next has to be the end of this. Like, we gotta be at the end of this. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.